wind is the worry with regards to the bushfires, of course. Well, he is one of the world's most successful and flamboyant entrepreneurs and also one of the world's richest men. Sir Richard Branson is about to roll out yet another company here in Australia, and he joins us now. Welcome back.
It's always good to be here, thank you.
Although it's very different times that you've returned to here in Australia and right around the world, and really not a good day to be arriving back in the country. We were reporting yesterday morning a Virgin flight got a flat tyre yesterday.
Landed safely though.
It was okay, they changed the tyre, we took some pictures of that. And 100 million lost in your latest profit report.
Well, that's a friendly first question, isn't it?
It's a great day.
I started out with, how are you?
I'm going to talk to him. Do you mind going away? Look, the world is going through a tough patch, to say the least, and what we're trying to do is to expand out of it. So we've just started a new airline, or we're just starting on Friday, a new airline between here in America via Australia, which means that Virgin will be the only airline in the whole world where you can actually buy a ticket, Virgin Global East, and you go east, and Virgin Global West, and you go west, and you go the whole way around the world on a Virgin plane. And via Australia will fly from Melbourne, from Sydney, from Brisbane, from to America, and then we'll also be flying to Africa, and in time we'll be flying to the Far East as well. And then this week we're also building and announcing a whole new health club chain in Australia and employing a lot of people for that, and trying to come in and shake up the health club industry. So, I mean, one either sort of sits back and cries in a time of the worst recession since 1929, or you get out and try to look at areas where things are not being very well run, which like the health club business in Australia, and come in and try to shake it up.
In terms of the health club, you're saying you're going to be employing on one hand, but you will have to be looking at cutbacks and staff cutbacks, won't you? There was some report yesterday that there'd be 400 staff lost from the Virgin Airlines in Australia. Have you got an accurate figure on that at this point?
Well, I hope that it'll be far less. I mean, you have to sort of say what the worst situation is going to be, and then you go out and look for people who want to, say, do part-time work or job-sharing work, and hopefully reduce it right down. But the advantage of Virgin is that we are expanding in other areas. So, I mean, a lot of people from Virgin Blue, if we're cutting one or two routes there, can maybe move over to work in our health club chain. I was in Melbourne yesterday where we're opening a new health club chain, and there were 30 people from Virgin Blue who are joining and going to work there. Via Australia would employ something like 1,500 people. The airline's just starting, and a lot of people from Virgin Blue will move over there. So I think it's right for management to sort of tighten their belts where you've got routes that are not making money, but it's also right, I think, for the Virgin Group to be pioneering, expanding out of this problem by creating new jobs. I mean, the health club industry in Australia, I mean, we only came here because people were incredibly frustrated. You're tied into a contract. You leave, you go and spend some time in England. You can't get out of that contract. You have to go along for an interview. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not even in the country. How can I come along to an interview to explain that I want to, to get out of a contract? And so I think, if we can come in and create the absolute best health clubs in Australia, they'll succeed.
It's such an odd thing, and I know you'll forgive me for saying it, for being very obvious, but you are in a position where you are starting up a new business in, as you say, the worst economic conditions since the 1920s. You know that you're going to have to cut back staff on Virgin Airlines. It's an odd mix going on at the moment.
I think it's the right mix. I mean, a lot of businesses are just cutting back, and they're just not thinking about expanding. If everybody cuts back, you just then get a spiralling down situation. People get out of work, they can't find jobs, and you get a 1929 situation. Those companies that have got the resources to expand and look at areas where other people are not doing it well, they should. There are tremendous opportunities, I think, right now for young, new entrepreneurs who want to set up businesses. I mean, the price of houses has collapsed. The price of planes has collapsed. I don't want you to come in and being any more airlines to rival.
Just on the subject of entrepreneurs, we've been out and about, and we've spoken to a couple of them, and they've got a couple of questions for you. Let's have a look.
Very good.
When you were our age, did you ever imagine yourself to be as successful as you are now?
No.
What sort of life did you envisage for yourself?
Well, I think I started at a similar age to that lad. I mean, 15, 16. Actually, he looks a bit older than that. And I wanted to create a national magazine for young people, and and it was the time of the Vietnamese War, and a lot was going on in the world that I disagreed with, and I wanted to be an editor, and I wanted to put the world right, and that was you know, so I was just interested in creating things, and that was something I managed to create that did quite well.
And here you are, $6.7 billion later, and naming planes after Miranda Kerr. When does
That's
that one
going
take
ahead?
off?
The whole fleet?
Do you know, I didn't know about the naming, but I haven't been completely briefed. But I think we are, and I think hopefully the naming will be this week.
Well, this is her. If you're not aware of Miranda,
Yeah.
Well, if I wasn't aware of her, I should definitely.
You've got to get out more, Sir Richard.
I think we made a very good choice.
Yes.
somebody's made a very good choice.
That would be a big tick for Sir Richard.
Yeah.
Well, look, we do wish all your businesses well. You've introduced competitive, you know, business to the airline industry in this country. That's a good thing, and I wish you well on the gym front too. Certainly some work.
You can see it's gym day today.
That's a very Seinfeld thing to do. That.
What are you going out there to do this morning?
I'm going to go. I'm actually swimming with Ian Thorpe this morning, and we're taking on the Olympic swimming, Australian Olympic swimming team. So I'm just, you know, getting fit, ready for it.
You never do things by halves, do you?
That will be interesting to watch.
But they're going to have their hands and feet tied behind their back, so that's a little detail they don't know about
Yes,
yet.
yeah, I bet they don't. Sir Richard, thanks very much
Thank you
for your
very
time
much.
this
Always
morning.
good to talk to you. Thank
Thank you.
Well, Hugh Jackman and Beyonce team up for a magical performance at the Oscars. We'll replay it in full at 8:40.
But up next, the news, sport and weather, plus another $5,000 on offer in the Great Cash Giveaway. Don't go anywhere.